What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Well, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't even want to wait. Let's go live. Let's go live. What up, guys? Gooner Recovery. My kind of stream. You know, guys, I think it's really funny when you come across people online who are like, I literally couldn't stop jerking off. It was ruining my life. Dude, putting my face in the thumbnail for this one though does make it look like it's me who's in Gooner Recovery. But today we're talking about this YouTuber who's got this really small channel going. And his whole thing is that he's like a male guru for sissy porn addicts. Yeah, this came courtesy of Falgi. I don't even know how this ended up in his recommended. I don't know what that says about Falgi.
Diesel, eat your corn tips.
That's right. If we get 5 teal super chats, I will explain how to quit jerking off 24/7.
I've missed you, Pappy. Interesting topic choice, yo.
Yeah, I know. I would have streamed last night, but I was litigating. I was being the Hague or wherever they negotiate peace deals or whatever the fuck. I was being that building. All right, I was being that building. But yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think I would sit down and listen. I think if I'm like a man, chat, and I am a guy, I think if I'm looking for like a male role model figure to like help me deal with porn, I don't think I would pick this guy. Unironically, I don't know what sissy porn is. I feel like I did understand it, but now I don't know. Hold on, let me Google it. Is this another NoFap dude? This is like the final boss of NoFap, okay? This is the final boss of NoFap. What is sissy porn? That's a wild one to put in my recommended. All right, there's a Wikipedia page. That is a wild That is a wild, wild thing that Wikipedia has on this page. All right. I don't know. I honestly don't even know. I mean, aside from the outfit the individual is wearing, I'm sorry. What the fuck? I don't believe that you don't know what that is, Diesel. You know too much to not know. Well, like I feel like I know, right? You know, like okay, I think I can show this. I think I can get away with showing this. This is a wild Wikipedia image. Feminization or feminization, sometimes forced femme, is also known as sissification. It's the practice in dominance and submission or kink subcultures involving the reversal of gender roles and making a submissive male take on a feminine role, which includes cross-dressing. Outside of the outfit the male individual is wearing in that, it's like, is that Lewis McClung? Right? I feel like that's more like I feel like putting submissive male in the same category as feminization and force femme is not accurate, right? Because when you're doing like BDSM stuff, you can be the sub and not be involved in being feminized, right? Like I could be like forced to, not forced, but like it's a consensual like wearing a collar, right, and walked around, but that's not me being feminized, right? So outside of the outfit, that is, in my opinion, feminine-esque, right? I think it's like, I think that's a little outrageous to say that
This
like
is a
any
strange
submissive
thing to
male
see
is a
when joining the
feminization act.
stream.
So I think it's this article on Wikipedia isn't fully accurate. I think we need more specificity if we're talking about this. And I'm saying that with like not a hint of comedy whatsoever. I'm being 100% genuine about that. We don't kink shame here. I think there is a reasonable threshold where kink shame conversations enter. Okay, do you have a Gooner PhD or something? Yes. Yes. So, is there like any one of these that is particularly like outrageous op block that I should be looking at? I don't, I thought there was one on like Fuda. I thought that or how to stop being a virgin. 23-year-old virgin falls victim to the sissy fetish. Guys, it's okay to want to be fucked in the butt and wear a dress. It's not for me, but if that makes you happy, running away from it, it's just gonna chase back up to you, right? It's gonna come back to you. Like you could try and escape that you want to be railed, but you can't escape it. Like this guy is gonna have like a horseshoe theory moment where he's like, I am the biggest girly ever. How to overcome self-hate forever. This is explicitly why I can't tell my friends about this channel. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, we're being fed currently. Escape from sissy hypnosis fast. What? What is this? Is this supposed to be timestamped?
floor with you after they use it to eat. They're gonna walk in on the floor with baby blood dripping all over it. Okay, and then they're gonna wipe your face on the baby blood.
Whoa! 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 What is happening in this scenario that happens? What? Let me in. I have lore for you. Fine, you get like a little bit.
Oh, hello, Diesel. How are you?
Hi. So what am I missing? What am I? Why?
Okay. So welcome to Wheatley. Wheatley is the owner and proprietor of Sissy Recovery. So we did a little deep dive into him. He is an ex-AI guy who is very addicted to sissy porn.
Mm-hmm.
He in the beginning of the channel, it's how to break from the sissification of men. He has a subreddit specifically with this this nomenclature and culture. They're all eggs. For those who don't know, egg is like a shorthand nomenclature for individuals who haven't yet identified as trans. Because in his in his Discord, not his Discord, in the subreddit, there is a specific rule: no encouraging men to transition.
Okay.
And it's a very weird subculture, but over time, and this video is not necessarily timestamped, you can watch this whole thing. My man believes that the New World Order government, even though he doesn't identify them or other people, is the reason that there's sissification, that there's plastic in the water and in the air.
Okay. All right.
And all of those things. He leads a self-help group. This is a job for him now. And it's all wrapped up into new age tech bro yoga bullshit.
Okay. All right. Dude, you can't have a new age cult without the JQ, dude.
It's so weird. But there are a variety of videos. Okay. How shocked do you want to be?
Of course I want to be shocked. That's why we're here.
Yeah, no, I know. Let me find the specific.
JQing off. No, JQ is the Jewish question. It's not jerking off.
Okay. So this is the video we ended our stream on. This is the video I would like you to start for you. Have fun with this. Have fun with this one. Goodbye.
We're gonna get something. This is gonna be bad, isn't it? Let me want to quit sissy porn? Get out of your head. Okay. It's 3 minutes. Why is he jorking it? No! No! You fucking asshole! Didn't even warn me he was naked. Oh my god. You didn't even warn me. It's fine. Wait, it's fine.
Yo, what the fuck is up, guys?
I don't want you in full
Welcome
screen.
back to Sissy Recovery.
It's fine. It's on YouTube. There was a guy who showed whole, like he literally grabbed both of his cheeks and went this way and said, "Here's how you clean an asshole." Okay.
Today, we're gonna talk a lot about.
Dude, is he on like fucking shrooms or ayahuasca? He is high as a fucking kite.
Why you guys need to get into your body.
This guy is like, he's really, really high. Men, if you are listening to this guy to regulate your pornography intake, you need to stop and run away.
Out of your fucking heads. because sex is in the body and porn is in the head. So you got
okay, this guy is actually the Far Cry 5 villain.
with porn and the fantasizing and all of that. And I've been there. And it's like, fuck, there's this mental shit going on that's just taking over my life. But the thing is,
Hey, Diesel, did you like the wall art? What the fuck is this? Jesus Christ.
take your consciousness out of here, okay? And then move it down into here.
Don't put your hand is on your penis right now, and I know it is.
Get in here. Get in here.
Get in here and fuck him in the butt? Okay.
Motherfuckers. Because
Dude, you don't get unmitigated insanity like this on the internet that much anymore, right? Like everybody has like their shit together kind of, but this guy is like this is like insanity on a level that we just don't see. Like there's something uniquely special about a character like this, right? Every time one of these characters kind of comes up, they're so rare. This kind of person that exists online is just gone. Mr. Girl Coded? Yeah, a little bit. Dude, we are inching so close to seeing fucking Hog. Would you hit Diesel? Would you hit Diesel? Diesel, would you? No, not in a million years.
the body is the vehicle for the motherfucking soul. Okay? So when you're not in it, you feel like you're not at home. You feel like you were disconnected from where you're meant to be.
I need eye bleach.
And to cover up for these feelings, we get into porn.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, I can't fucking stand my life.
Why you are jerking off in place of therapy? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. This guy's got some serious levels of self-hatred.
I need something.
Well, like when you think about his fetish, right? We could reasonably assume that humiliation plays a role, right? So one could argue that this even also is something he gets off to, right? Like I feel like we're kind of playing into his bit. Not a single comment on this.
To make it temporarily better.
Please put on a dress and cover up.
It's literally like, bro, your life could be awesome. You have a body. And it's one of the coolest things.
This guy just understood the basics of human anatomy. Do you know that our ligaments are like fucking hinges, bro?
A body is fucking awesome, guys. You have no idea. You guys have no fucking clue how sick it is to be inside
Another man.
your body, fully at home, fully at peace with who you truly are, knowing that no one and nothing
He looks like if Charles Manson went to a hipster barbershop.
He looks
in
like
Detroit.
if Charles Manson went to a hipster barber shop in Detroit.
I'm good with that. I don't think he's gonna say anything else worth its salt. But why is he? Because he does. He wants to have gay loving sex where they also humiliate him. Okay. Okay. We hit the goal, so I'm going to explain how you stop. Okay, first of all, here's how fellas and ladies in the chat, right? If you are struggling, if you feel you're struggling with porn, I want you to ask this simple question. Is the amount of jerking off you're doing causing you bodily harm or taking away from social or workplace obligations, right? Is it doing one of those two things, right? If you are jerking off so much that you are deciding to not go and hang out with your friends or not go to work, right? Then you are jerking off too much. If it burns, if it hurts, if you are in physical bodily pain, you are jerking off too much. Okay? This is very, when you reach that level, you are jerking off too much. And you should slow down. All right? People have different libidos. That's normal, right? So the average for how much somebody jerks off is dependent on how much sex you want to be having versus what you actually have. But when you start prioritizing that over things in your regular life, you have a problem and you should go to a therapist. What to do if pee too small to jerk? I can't answer that question because that's not an experience I live with as the owner of a massive hog. But you should you should, figure out how to regulate yourself, right? If you are finding yourself prioritizing that over other things in your life, right? If you're like, I could spend 30 minutes reading a book or 30 minutes jerking off, right? If we're at that level, you probably should slow down. You probably should slow down, right? I think those are very reasonable steps you can take. I think the nofap guys get a little crazy where they'll say things where it's like, I stopped jerking off forever and then woke up at 4 a.m. It's like, all right, buddy, is it really that you were jerking off that much, or did you have clinical depression that you weren't addressing, and now that you've gotten rid of the jerking off, you went and you got on depression medication? Is Diesel using this stream as the therapy session? Right? It's like the nofap guys will talk about something where they're like, I was jerking off so much I had no friends. And it's like, okay, you were clinically depressed and now you're prioritizing going outside more over jerking off. Jerking off was a symptom of a mental illness you had. It was not the cause of the mental illness. All right? Also, I think there's a lot of Catholic guilt in a lot of the nofap guys, in my opinion. A lot of Christian guilt in a lot of the nofap guys. That's just something I think. It seems to be an entirely Western concept. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of overlap with that. I think we should do a study, figure out how many of them actually did have that kind of upbringing. I think it might be interesting to see how many of them are, right?
Pesticide turns male frogs into females. The pesticide atrazine can turn male frogs into females that are able to mate and successfully reproduce. Here, two male frogs mating. The larger animal on the bottom has been completely feminized by
Okay, but this is literally the Alex Jones, the frogs are gay thing, right? This does not mean that humans are being turned gay by microplastics in the water. All right? It is a misunderstanding of what was going on that led Alex Jones to repeat the talking point that they're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay. All right? It is a misunderstanding of how the science works. He is misunderstanding this Live Science article because it is from Live Science. You can see up there.
atrazine exposure and can produce viable eggs.
So what do you think? Like, bro is talking like he's gonna get M-pregged someday. Like, sissy porn and depression. Again, in my opinion, I do feel like porn and using porn as a coping method is a symptom of unaddressed mental health issues that are not the cause of your mental health issues. Okay. So it's like, if you're addicted to jerking off, you know, there are probably other issues you have going on in your life, right? You might say to yourself, I don't have friends and I don't feel like I'm worthy of love. You might say, I have nothing going on for myself. You might say, I don't have any like long-term goals, right? And you notice that all that like black and white thinking, all those kind of like, this is all like this. Listen, for you porn addicts out there, this is, you know, that CBT type negative thinking, right? That you would address in cognitive behavioral therapy, right? These are the things that you would address, and you'd find out that this is a symptom for things that are just, you know, you're not addressing in your life. As opposed to the, as opposed to the other CBT. She found my chastity cage. Sissy versus Alpha. Wait. I gotta look at this 30 minutes, dude. Hold on. Let me just look by popular. Losing myself to sissy hypnosis.
What's up, bitches? It's called pandering to your audience right there.
This guy is constantly gritting his teeth. He is so fucking high in everything he's doing.
What's up, beautiful people? Today we have a question. Kind of a long one, but it's a good one. So he says, I've been watching Sissy. Oh, by the way, this person's name is now going to be Arrow for the rest of this video. So Arrow says, I've been watching Sissy videos for about 7 or 8 years and haven't been able to quit.
I have a fetish and I can't stop jerking off to the thing that I'm attracted to. Oh my god. Guys, you'll be a lot happier if you're just comfortable with having a fetish, okay? All right? It's the year 2025. You don't need to be sheepish about having a foot fetish, all right? Or liking to sniff armpits. Or liking whatever the fuck, all right? You don't need to. There's a community where you all can talk about how much you like fucking smelling armpits.
And I feel like I'm losing myself more and more. And I'm kind of scared. When I first started, it was bad, but compared to now, it seems fantastic.
Unless it's illegal, yes. What about Goblin Girls, though? That's based. That's based. You know, I'm just literally categorically correct. You know, I think the Greek philosopher Diogenes said goblins are very pog. He said that, Diogenes. You can look it up.
First started out as, you know, I'd go into sissy mode for a week or two and then revert back to normal and stay that way. For
Diogenes did not say that. Well, you know what? He was buried in a landfill, so go figure that one out. How about that?
Amount of time. Now, I've recently realized it's worse. For example, I was in that mode for about 2 months and sort of realized I need to stop, and then I stopped for about 2 weeks, and then went right back to about 3.5 months of sissy mode, and got out of
what is sissy mode? Is it like engaging in the fetish? Oh my god. These fellas, they need a relationship.
of it a couple days ago. That's ridiculously long, and I don't know what to do anymore. I need to talk to someone, but I have no one. Well, you have me. And I'm not really sure what you mean by sissy mode, but I assume you mean watching sissy porn and maybe posting some shit online or something. And so in that case, let me tell you, bro, you're not alone. I mean, really, like, I don't think not everybody even has the experience. Not everyone's lucky enough to have this experience where you just occasionally fucking watch it, right? It's like, oh, I watch it and then I don't, and then I do, and then I don't. A lot of people just watch it every day or every other day or every week, but consistent.
Oh, okay. All right. And again, to repeat myself, there is like a different medium for when you pass it that's jerking off too much, right? Different people have different libidos, right? If you are comfortable with people you know and you ask them about it, everybody has a different level. All right. Does he mean like force femme stuff? Yes.
Okay, it's not like sissy mode is on or off. So if that's what you mean, man, trust me, you've got good company. And the update is
This guy looks like Rainbolt. He looks like the fucking Google Earth guy. He looks like the guy who fucking finds people. Okay.
I already feel like giving up, but at the same time, I don't want.
Diesel, you should make a goal where if it wins you, I will not take HRT.
All right, man. So look, by the way, when I said, hey, you have someone to talk to, and that's me, you literally do. I do literally for like free calls. So if you ever need help, reach out to me over DM. Okay?
I can't imagine how lonely and unfulfilled your life has to be where you need to rely on a coach to not jerk off. Like if you have friends and you have a social life, I am telling you guys, you will pick your friends over jerking off, right? Because if you enjoy save Omegaverse for my PowerPoint,
Save
boss, I've spent
Omegaverse
almost
for my PowerPoint, boss. I've spent almost a year on IT.
I will literally write it as a stream, right? I will add it to the list because we have a going list of like streams that you guys have gotten from the goals.
And I'm actually
Yes,
now
this is
gonna
his
DM you,
job.
So respond, and I'll do a free Discord call with you. You know, it's completely free. And
Imagine this guy's calling in. He's like, "Dude, sissy recovery. I'm about to jerk off. I'm literally pricked up right now. Listen, don't jerk off. Don't give in to that. That's what the gay agenda wants us to think. Don't jerk off. But if you do, turn on your camera so I can watch."
I did one today, and you can chat with me. Actually, that person was nice enough to donate, but there's literally zero pressure. Okay, I really don't care. I just want to help people. And I assume
I can't, like, just the concept of an emergency contact because you're about to goon is insane.
that you need help because they're saying right here, I need someone to talk to, but I have no one. So don't miss out on that fucking opportunity, bro. Too many people, they're thrown opportunities and they don't take them. And then you have to ask yourself, do you really even want it? At that point, if you don't take the opportunity, it's like, do I even really want to change? Or am I just kind of saying I want to change? Is it just lip service and I just like the sissy fetish, right? A lot of people don't want to change. And so let's dive into this, right? So
Dude,
basically
come
what you're
on.
saying is,
This is the same guy.
you sort of realize you need to stop.
He's just a little browner,
and you
okay?
feel like you are losing yourself.
Look,
And so
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I am so true. I am so right and correct. Okay? So is this just him saying, like, don't jerk off? I need to know the simple steps to break free.
bend over into your life because it affects your sexuality, and your sexuality is a big part of who you are. Picture of sissy porn. In this, when it comes to losing yourself in this fetish, that is the nature of sissy porn. You start to not know what's a fetish and what is real. And it starts to blend over into your life because
If you let your fetish, I don't even know how to like say this. I am not a sex therapist, chat. All right, I don't have enough sex to be a sex therapist.
affects your sexuality and your sexual.
If you, I don't even know how to like word this. I understand some people want to live like a life where they're constantly like in their sex zone, right? Where there are people who live like every waking moment doing like the BDSM stuff, right? And they'll do that places, right? Or people who want to engage in like maybe a fetish that's like detrimental to their health, right? I think that's fine. You're an adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? You just have to be mindful that you know there's consequences for those things, right? You have to weigh up whether or not the enjoyment and life you live participating in that is worth the risk to your long-term health and or sanity, right? If you want to dress up in a dress and jerk off, fine. But if it is participating in like ruining your like physical health and that is something you prioritize more over that, then yeah, you should probably take steps to manage that. But I don't think this is where you go to do it. But Diesel, what about our gaycation? Chat keeps saying a gaycation. Is that where like straight guys go on a vacation to like fucking Europe and then are gay for like a month? Go read the gaycation Reddit. I don't. What is that? What is the gaycation Reddit?
Sexuality is a big part of who you are.
Ibiza, Diesel, Ibiza.
So as you become more and more sexually obsessed with this idea of being a sissy and being degraded or getting fucked or whatever, it starts to impact your whole life. You start to maybe...
You can unpack this fetish by just accepting that your sexuality is more of a spectrum, my dear friend. This hard binary is not a reality. It is a social construct that you have created. And you will be okay with being fucked in the butt if you just realize that there's nothing wrong with being fucked in the butt and that nobody is going to judge you for wanting anal sex. Okay, what I got two of these. Okay, it's the same thing. All right. My 42F. Okay, so I'm a 42 female. My husband, a 42 male, has informed me he intends to go on a gaycation with his BIL 35M. What is a boy? What does BIL mean? Brother-in-law, with his brother-in-law. Okay. How do I handle this? All right. Trigger warnings, gay sex. Brother-in-law. Okay. Hey there. I really hope I really wish I didn't have to make this post, but here goes. Me and my husband have been happily married for about 16 years, give or take. We both have stable careers, a good family life, and are fairly fortunate despite the cost of living and raking the
I make
UK
Gooner
right now.
for fun and money, and I go months without jerking. I do other things than just goon, but gooning is fun too. Balance, people.
There we go. We got an enlightened Gooner. We have two boys, 15 and 10, and up until this Sunday, though we had it pretty good. We sometimes argue, but it's never gotten bad. We have a pretty decent sex life with some exploration, but I won't get into that. I understand not wanting to get into that, but I have a feeling that this entire scenario exists over a lack of discussion with your sex life. Long and short is on Sunday, just after I dropped our boys off at their friends, My husband asked me if we had the house alone, and more importantly, do I have a minute? I said
Here's
yes.
money for reading the gaycation story.
Thank you. I said yes, and he sat me down and then got out this printed poster for some sort of orgy. It started explaining to me the concept of a gaycation. I'm picturing the Pepe Sylvia thing, but there's like a gay sex image behind him. He takes out a printed poster is insane. How it's where straight men go to sometime. Oh my god, I can't fucking read today. It's where straight men go to somewhere with sun, sand, and booze and become gay for the duration of the trip. You know, men just used to do this in Greece, right? But now we live in a society with all these rules. But that's Diogenes said that too, Chad. He actually said that too. What happens on a gaycation stays on gaycation.
Oh, Reddit thread, this bodes well.
I was just completely silent and mortified, even more so when he said he was looking into booking a trip to Ibiza next year with his brother-in-law, his sister's husband, to experience it for himself. He then finally let me speak. I just said, I need him to be clear with me. Is he gay? Because if yes, that's okay, but we need to figure out what's going to happen going forward. I didn't let myself get angry or upset. I was just stunned. He swore up and down he's not gay, and he's 100% attracted to women, and of course still loves me and our boys. So I said, well, do you think maybe you're bi? And he got very defensive, saying how I need to drop the accusations and that this is the beauty of the gaycation. It allows straight men to experience gayness without actually being gay, and how it's like going to an aquarium. Okay. My dearest grown man in this, you sound like you have sexual hangups about your sexuality, and it probably comes from when you were a young person. If you were 40, you're probably about, you know, maybe late Gen X or whatever, right? You or like really late millennial, right? So you were growing up in a time where that kind of sexuality spectrum wasn't allowed. And so you are very, very turned off by the idea of labels. And it's okay. You don't have to abide by any of those labels, but you should also realize that these things are much more flexible, much like the twink you'll be railing in Ibiza. Diesel doesn't get the gaycation. I do understand the gaycation, right? He's trying to justify to himself why it's not gay for him to have gay sex. He's doing the guy thing where men will do this thing where they're like, "Oh, that's not gay. That's not gay." And it's like totally kind of a little gay. Like keep reading. And again, he was adamant he doesn't find men's bodies or genitalia exciting at all, but he needs to experience this apparently. That doesn't make any sense. I said, well, I'm not really comfortable because even if he was bi, he would be explicitly cheating on me. And he got angry and reiterated he's not, because that's the beauty of the gaycation. I just had enough and left the room. I ignored him for the rest of the day, but we spoke at tea, where I again asked him why does he want to do this so bad if he's not gay. He said how he's interested in how gay men's lives differ to straight men's, and that unfortunately, once the gaycation begins, it's simply impossible for a man to resist, and he must surrender himself mind, body, and soul to the gaycation or be destroyed. This guy is talking about going on the gaycation like he's going off to war. Dude, just paint your fucking nails, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You don't need to be so fucking literal with it, all right? Dude, you know when they say be destroyed, he actually becomes the biscuit in the soggy biscuit. I really can't put into words how surreal it was, because he was speaking so matter of fact. And again, he insists that this is a thing straight men do all the time. And now he's actually doing it a bit late. I don't know a single male straight friend that I have that has ever said they're going to do a gaycation. I said to him, if he has any love for me, then he can't go ahead with this. And if he does, the marriage will be dead. We didn't speak anymore after that. And you know what? That's a reasonable position to be as a wife in this situation. Since then, he mentioned no more of it, but somehow, this is what scares me a lot too. That decision genuinely seems to be tearing him up. He didn't go into work on Monday and only went in a half day yesterday because he told them he just felt too ill, and he looks distraught every time I see him. I really don't think he's wholly gay, though. I can absolutely believe he's bi, but I'd rather we talk about that in a healthy way rather than this incredibly weird denialism that's going on around a sex holiday in Ibiza. Has anyone known straight guys to do this? Straight guys don't do this. And come back and just go to being straight. Like, surely that can't be a thing that happens. You need to sit down with a therapist and work out your husband's sexuality together because you need a mediator for this conversation. I'm so out of my depth here, and I just don't even know how to initiate the conversation. For the record, I also haven't mentioned it to his sister yet. I don't even know how to break it to her. Thanks for any of the help. Wow, this blew up. It's been incredibly sobering. And I think I've now confirmed what I already knew to be the case. My marriage is dead one way or another. Jesus Christ. Average Redditor goes to Reddit for advice. I think I need a divorce. I mean, probably, but you got 2 kids. I don't know if you should throw in the towel just yet. I mean, do you really love each other? It's been 16 years. I mean, honestly, if she was going to Reddit for advice, it was done already, right? Like, yeah, it is divorce territory, right? But it's like, you know, if there's any like mutual love and you're like going through a issue with like sexual identity or gender identity with your partner, it's like maybe that's like something you work out not with Reddit, right? In a way, I was in denial about that myself. I've contacted my sister-in-law, and initially she screamed at me, calling me a liar, and even insinuated that I was trying to steal her husband. She rang me back shortly after, apologized, and admitted that she was in deep, deep shock. His definition of a gaycation sounds like a guy going on a trip to cheat on his wife, which I can absolutely believe. Yeah, that's what I think it is. I could see straight men lying, saying they're bisexual to explore their bisexuality, hoping their wives are going to be in enough shock that they can go fly to a foreign country to fuck somebody. I could totally see that being the case, right? Where it's just like a cover for him like cheating on the wife with another woman, right? I have asked my parents to look after the boys, and we're going to meet tomorrow to discuss this deeper. I've also texted my husband and told him we need to make alternative accommodation arrangements, but he will not be sleeping here tonight, and a bag will be waiting for him. Not sure if the mods want to lock this post or not, but I think I've got my answers. Thank you all for the kind words, especially Champion Flight, who gave me a really good dose of the reality I needed. P.S. I see a lot of people asking about the aquarium, and the risk of doxing myself. There's a pretty famous aquarium in the UK called The Deep. At the very end of the walk, you walk through a tunnel that goes underneath the main fish tank. So it's quite immersive, I suppose. My husband explained the aquarium thing in that it's a bit like that. You go there, you observe the fishes, you even get a bit up close, but you never actually enter the water, quote unquote, get emotionally invested or become a fish. So it really doesn't count. So he's just going to go there, stare at men have gay sex, and then come home? It was a very bizarre analogy, and I pointed out it makes no sense. And he just got more in a huff about how I just don't get it. And frankly, I still don't. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Your husband isn't proposing a gaycation. He's proposing cheating on you with men while using the magical thinking to pretend it doesn't count. The fact that he's planning this with his sister's husband makes it even more disturbing. His bizarre explanation about surrendering mind, body, and soul isn't a straight man's curiosity. It's someone desperately trying to justify exploring his sexuality while keeping his heterosexual marriage. His depression about not being able to go isn't about missing a vacation. It's about being forced to confront his sexuality without his convenient "what happens in Ibiza stays in Ibiza" excuse. if you screwed a gay guy, you're in the fish tank. Yeah, if it happens, you're gay. That's like a guy's mind, right? Where it's like all very binary, right? Like the concept of like a bisexual guy for most straight men is completely alien because you could have sex with like 1,000 women, but the second you fuck one guy, you're gay. His meltdown, blah blah blah. He's avoiding facing his reality. I read over this multiple times, and I guess the worst part is I know you're completely right. Go to marriage therapy. Go to marriage therapy, guys. Holy shit. I hate Reddit people because Reddit people, this is not like I'm sorry, but this you shouldn't go to Reddit for marriage advice. Is that an unreasonable thing to say? I understand where she's coming from and why she's so fucking torn up about it, and she has all the reason to be, right? But this needs to be like in a conversation with somebody who can be a good mediator for both people in the marriage. This is what marriage counseling is for, okay? Right? Like there's a lot of stakes involved with this person's marriage because there's fucking kids that are like teenagers, okay? Talk it out at the gaycation. You should consider a divorce. I wanted to avoid a divorce option, but I guess it's the only option, isn't it? Ay, Dios mío, pendejo. So this is just a thought, but I'm wondering if he was really planning on doing the gaycation or if that was just a cover to get you to agree with it. What if the real plans was to get with a woman while he's down there? Yeah, I could see that being the case, but I actually think the guy is either bisexual or gay based on the words he was saying, and he's trying to maintain his perception. So a man, if they were raised their entire life to be straight and they have like a really binary view of sexuality, is gonna like grow up and then they're gonna think, if I have any like bisexual tendencies, then I'm just full on gay, and I'm not gay because that's not manly, right? So when he has to confront the reality of whether or not he is gay or not, it also becomes a question about his own masculinity, right? Which is very important to a lot of men, and that's completely fine, right? But you know, he's trying to like cover it up by going on this fucking vacation and saying, "Oh, this isn't really me being gay. This is just like pretend gay." To be honest, I hadn't thought of that, and the thought of it terrifies me from the way he was talking about men and the fact that he had a poster for a gay orgy. I mean, it's one hell of a bluff, surely. Your husband likes men. I never thought being gay wasn't masculine. It's kind of the opposite. I think a lot of straight men who grow up in like the whole heteronormative like setting where it's like, oh, it's only Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve type growing up, kind of grow up with that mentality that being gay is somehow less masculine and being a gay bottom is the most emasculine. Tell him you're gonna have a straight cation while he's gone, and you're gonna surrender mind, body, and soul to other men. Honest to God, if my husband proposed this to me, I'd use his time away to pack up, move out, and have divorce papers waiting for him. Nothing more manly than taking 13 inches and walking it off. Okay, so the Redditor goes on to relay the rest of her failing marriage. So when I last posted, I contacted my husband to tell him he wouldn't be staying at home tonight and it would be waiting for him. As you can imagine, we argued quite badly. I won't go into the specific details, but no, I'm not 100% on board with the fact, at minimum, that he's bi. Might even be gay altogether. We've had arguments in the past, but I've genuinely never seen him in such a childish tantrum before, screaming about how I don't understand a gaycation. Absolutely despise that phrase now, and insinuating I'm actually homophobic because I refuse to allow him to participate in this cultural exchange with the gay community. a lot of you said to ask him if it's acceptable if the roles were reversed, and I did say it. I did say, would it be acceptable if I went and slept with other guys during that week? Like fucking clockwork, he was very angry and offended, saying it's completely different because the gaycation means nothing, and what happens on the gaycation stays on the gaycation. Well, what if you went to Ibiza and had sex with women? So doesn't actually count. Whereas I'd just be straight up cheating. Well, I turned it around to him. Now, but you see what happens in Manchester stays in Manchester. Yeah, but like that's Manchester. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't count. It's like bird watching. And I think it like got through to him. He went all quiet and then started crying, admitting that he thought of me sleeping with another man is destroying his heart. But the relationship needs to be sacrifices. So agreed while in tears that when he goes on a gaycation, I'll get 1 week in Manchester to do whatever I want. Oh my god. He doesn't want me to, but that's fair in a twisted way, I suppose. He supposed. Okay. I told him to get out of my house. Thankfully, he left without a fight. I know it's incredibly petty, but I also drained a joint bank account, legal in the UK, so he couldn't try to use it against me. About an hour later, I got a rung up from the mother-in-law who's screaming and screamed at me about being a cheating whore, how I was horrible. What about the kids? That one, this is wild. This is wild.
When are you and Beckett going on gaycation?
I am not going on vacation with Beckett. I'm really worried that this funny story is going to take like a really horrific turn for the worst, and that it's going to get really dark really fast. When I finally got my composure back, and I just said to ask your son about the gaycation, obviously, at first she got angry, but I said no, just ask him about the gaycation. He'll explain, but she called me a fucking joke and hung up. Later on into the evening, I got another phone call from her in a flood of tears. She was very apologetic, and I told her she doesn't need to be the one to apologize. She was so upset she put FIL on the phone. Oh, father-in-law on the phone, who, while he sounded calm, I could just sort of tell he was on a warpath. I guarantee you, while they're very upset about the marriage, they're even more upset about the fact their son is gay. Again, very apologetic. He said he overheard the phrase, asked my husband, and my husband has said, no, it's nothing, before explaining how it's a modern thing men do, and gave them the same spiel about what happens on gaycation. Men cannot resist the gaycation, how a man must surrender to the gaycation, etc. The father-in-law said they told him to leave or they'd call the police. Don't care where he goes, but he wasn't staying there. Yee! Yee! Husband tried to call me while I was on the phone, but I just ignored it. And the father-in-law said he was so sorry for me and that they have my quarter in this. So that's one thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Told them to be there for their daughter because it sounds like the brother-in-law is involved. Husband didn't tell them that. And the father-in-law just said he had to go because he was so angry. I got a text from my husband after the phone call, which was all weird and rambly, saying how I had abused the gaycation to destroy his marriage and destroy his life. I mean, you kind of threw the first stone, buddy, not to... not to throw stones in gay glass houses, but you did throw the first stone here. And again insinuated I and his parents were homophobic for doing such a thing. Jesus Christ. Told him we'll talk when he grows up, and I blocked his number. I took the day off work myself to have the locks changed this morning. So that's 500 euro gone, but it's whatever. At least I know he won't be coming back. I'm going to be looking at how to proceed with divorce, and then we'll move on from there. Oh, of course, there's also the brother-in-law. So I haven't yet met the sister-in-law. She was in such a state, taking it far worse than I have for reasons that'll be clear soon. We're going to maybe try tomorrow, but we did speak over the phone, and I eavesdropped on the conversation with her husband, where she put her phone on speaker and I went on mute. Her husband got home earlier. She made him come home and told him there was emergency, and just said to him, "Can you please explain what a gaycation is?" She told me afterwards she was praying he'd look confused or just be like, "What?" or like anything like that. But instead, he sat down and explained what a gaycation is: a new thing where straight men go to gay hotspots and participate in gay sex acts, but it doesn't count because it's no investment. And because what happens on gaycation stays on gaycation. He said it's like writing down angry thoughts and putting them in a drawer. You never have to see them again. These guys just cannot admit they're bisexual. Holy shit. Oh my god. You are bi. I diagnose you with bisexuality. If they're in the UK, shouldn't they be calling these holigays? No, holigays is what you put on a fucking egg. Whole time the sister-in-law is in tears, and he just calmly bats off the same points my husband did about how it doesn't count, and how he even did the whole "it's impossible to resist, you must surrender or be destroyed" shit. I seriously think they must be speaking to a dominatrix or something. Are there even male doms? Okay. Honey. Okay. God, because surely neither of them are into that, into this, and are just making that up on your own. I really don't want to go into what was discussed for her sake, but it did come very apparent to me that the brother-in-law is into sissy hypno porn, and at the time conflated that with the concept of a gaycation. Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
The husband and Bill just wanted to smash each other and wanted an excuse.
That's what I think. That sounds the most likely of the scenarios, right? They probably found each other both attractive and said, "Let's go away," and like have a romance. There's no way that this wife or none of the people involved in this had no inkling that maybe these guys were a little bisexual. There is no fucking way. I refuse to believe that nobody in this scenario had any idea that anybody was gay or bi or whatever, okay? But like this guy wants an excuse to cheat, and it is cheating, right? But I do not fucking believe that they went through 16 years of marriage and went, "I have no idea. I had no idea my husband kind of liked men." There's no way.
Tinfoil hat theory, but what if it's two gay guys in Deepops trying for a child with women and escape to gaycation every year to be themselves?
Am I on the right path with
Keep
this?
reading Diesel.
There was an utterly surreal moment where the sister-in-law was trying to wrap her head around this while also in floods of tears, and he explains that it's generally so matter-of-fact that most men, the gaycation is either a one-time or annual thing, but most men go on a gaycation for years, and others simply never return, because they use hypnosis and mind control to be totally feminized into a state of permanent pseudo-gayness. She said in disbelief, "Surely, if you're taking it up to arse willingly because you want to, that makes you gay." He said no, because that's the beauty of gaycation. You can do all this gay stuff, but you don't interact with the wider gay life experience. What the fuck are you talking about, brother? Are you talking about wearing like frilly clothes? Is that your idea of like the gay life experience? Gay men can be more manly than you, okay? The gay life experience, you're making something up. Oh my god. She asked him if the sissy stuff is what he wanted, and he said not on a long-term basis. And was adamant that this is something all straight men do because she wouldn't get it because she's a woman. Then there were more insinuations of homophobia. Well, that marriage is dead, I suppose, too. The whole ordeal ended when she said to him he has a choice to make, and he said no, he doesn't need to make this choice because that's the beauty of the gaycation. Allows him to keep his marriage because it doesn't count. She said that it's not a choice. The choice is whether he's leaving the house that night or she is. Only good thing he did was leave. Me and the sister-in-law spoke after that, and I'm just still utterly stunned. I understand she's gone to her parents for the support of what exactly did we do with our lives to be destroyed in such an abrupt, bizarre, and embarrassing way. Personal advice, I'm going to look at devices and bank statements to see if I can definitive proof of cheating. After that, I suppose to figure out how I tell my boys why their father won't be coming home. Spoke to my sister-in-law. My husband's family is the older sister, him, blah, 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 and gave her a skimmed-down version of it. She asked her husband, and thankfully he was deeply confused, but then mentioned about 2 years ago at a birthday party, he was approached by my husband and the brother-in-law about signing up for some online boot camp around BDSM cross-dressing. He assumed that they were taking the piss out of him, so he told them to fuck off and never really thought of it again. The fact that this has been going on for that long is making me want to throw up. Your brother-in-law and husband have been having gay sex. They wanted to go on a gay romantical vacation, okay? You have been living a lie. Your husband likes men. I am sorry. I know I've told this story before, but I had an ex one time, chat, and I liked her a lot. And she was a biomedical engineer, very smart. And she was in a sorority. And it was one night we were laying in bed, and she turns to me and she says, Diesel, how do you feel about gay people? And I said, I don't have a problem with gay people. Why? And she was like, I was just curious. And she was in a sorority, and so her little, because she was an elder sister in a sorority, her little is the one she was in charge of. But I found out over the course, like I had started dating her, and then I had found out she had told me on Valentine's Day that she had been sleeping with her little, right? So she was a sophomore and she was sleeping with her freshman junior, right? And she was like, yeah, I'm actually gay. And it's like, as like a guy in a relationship, like I can't be mad because you're like, oh, I found out that I'm actually gay, but I was too embarrassed to tell you. Right? So I can't be mad at that because it's like, okay, well, that's your sexuality. I don't want to be an asshole about it. But then I also am mad because you never told me. Right? But I can't be like mad about it because it's like, okay, I understand you cheated, but it's like, all right, like whatever. And then later on, she invited me to her lesbian wedding.
Sorry, I just got here and the first thing I hear is hypnosis sissification vacation, so I guess I'll be staying.
So she was like full on straight up gay. Right? Not a hint of man loving in her. Did you watch? Honestly, if I was me now at 27, I totally would have gone for the sake of the bit.
Membership. Cheating never will be whatever.
It happens in life, right? I'm not like, obviously I was upset in the moment, but like looking back on it, I can't imagine that I expended so much emotional energy being upset about it, right? Because when you're cheated on, you sit around and think like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Was there something wrong with me? No, there wasn't anything wrong with me. She was just fucking gay, okay? And she wasn't attracted to me, all right? Diesel 100% turned her gay. That's the excuse I use for years because it's like the funny excuse, right? But it's like, as time goes on, I sit there and I go, I can't believe I expended that kind of energy on that. There was something wrong with you. You weren't a woman. P.S. The poster who said about the divorce options, I'm actually going to look into adultery because plain and simple, that's what it is. Let's see, your husband and brother-in-law are in a deep shared delusion that destroyed two families. Their identical talking points about surrender and destruction prove that this is coordinated. This is just not planning to cheat. They're already involved in some online community that warped their thinking. The fact that they both instantly launched into the same script about gaycation shows that this isn't spontaneous. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a group where there's a bunch of men talking about going and having gay sex, right? But I'm telling you, your brother-in-law and your husband already had gay sex in the UK. You made the right call draining the account and changing the locks. Their attempts to flip this into accusations and homophobia show how desperately they're trying to avoid responsibility. The identical language, the bizarre aquarium bird watching analogies, the talk of surrender or be destroyed. I mean, that's definitely fetish talk. They're in some online echo chamber that's completely divorced from reality. They're on a forum to talk about a fetish. When your husband agreed to let you have a Manchester week while crying, he revealed the whole lie. He knows exactly what this is, cheating. He wants permission to do it while denying you the same. The talk about hypnosis and permanent feminization reveals just how far this goes. Get a lawyer, protect your assets, and document everything. It'll get worse before it gets better. Focus on protecting yourself and your children because they're too far gone in their shared fantasy to the destruction they're causing. What a pathetic hill for two men to die on. They destroyed their marriages, traumatized their families, and alienated their parents, all while insisting none of it counts because they made up a special rule about it. They have unrequited trauma about the fact that they are gay. They want to cheat without consequences. They found an online community that validates this fantasy. Yeah, they're clearly in a relationship together. I don't know how you can read this story and go, these guys are going to fuck random men. No, they're going to Ibiza to have a romantic lovey-dovey gay vacation together, okay? I don't know of another way to put that. That is what's happening here. Right? And they're in this position where they don't want to throw away their marriages even though they realize they're gay, so they're making up all these lies about it, right? Because they don't want to end their marriage because they're fucking gay and they're not attracted to their wife. Oh my god. You don't think they made the poster themselves? No, they totally got it online, but I don't think there's like a... I'm certain there's gay orgies that happen in Ibiza, but those two men are not going to have a gay orgy. They're going to drink fucking margaritas and then kiss each other underneath the fucking full moon, all right?
Pappy, you take us to the most interesting places.
Like you genuinely... I honestly think it's worse if the brother-in-law and husband are fucking. But, you know, at least they're keeping it in the family. I joined a sissification forum because I'm in denial about being in love with my brother-in-law. Yeah. I think there's info about the gaycation online from Spain. Oh my god. Let's see. What pushed me off the cliff was like, the brother-in-law said he doesn't need to make a choice because of the beauty of the gaycation. This allows him to keep his marriage because it doesn't count. He's definitely been kissing the husband. That's my thought as well. There's no reason for both men to share this nice fetish if they're not sharing with each other. Who knows how they are sharing? They are having gay sex together, guys. Good thing for OP that they're dumb enough to prepare a speech on how they're going to cheat on their wives instead of just going to Ibiza. I mean, yeah.
My brother and I would joke that there's nothing more destructive than a closeted gay man in denial. We haven't been proven wrong yet.
Well, see, that's what I'm picturing here is, and I know we've seen this before. I know if you have been alive for at least 20 years or more, you've seen this person before, right? The kind of guy who gets, like, you know him and you know 100% he's fucking gay. He's got fucking a rainbow coming out his ass, right? And then he gets married, right? He gets married and he's in this marriage and he's like, and he's real this, right? But you're like, brother, how are you straight? Like, what's going on there? And then they get married, and then you go to the wedding, and the wedding's great. It's fine. He's got some zesty guys. He's got some zesty guys showing up at the wedding. You're like, okay, whatever. It's his friends. But he has kids with this woman, and then the kids are like teenagers, and all of a sudden he's a middle-aged man, and he's like, holy shit, I'm gay, and I like gay sex. I like men. I'm attracted to men. I love men. I'm not attracted to any of this stuff. The friends hate the wife. Right? Right? You have seen this guy. This guy exists. This guy is a really common thing that's happening, and I think it happens a lot, especially with middle-aged men from like the late millennial generation to Gen X, right? And they fucking exist, and that is exactly what this is, right? And there are women like that too. There are women like that too. There are 100% women like that too. That guy was my dad, except he realized when I was a baby, thankfully. Also, them this to me it sounds cultish. I'm sorry, guys. As hilarious as it would be for a sissy cult to exist, I don't think it's a sissy cult. I think it's just I think it's just gay swingers. And do some forensic accounting. He's been paying someone a lot of money to put all of this in his head. It is kind of a cult. It definitely could be, right? But like I think when a Redditor is talking about a cult, they're talking more about like Manson than anything more like Sissy Cult sounds like the title for a 1-hour commentary video. It's got some things in common with pink pilling people on 4chan. He was paying to get his brain cooked because those guys are clearly delusional. If they wanted to cheat, they could have just invented an excuse, but to convince themselves that their spouses would be okay with this. There's something vaguely misogynistic about it, which makes it feel like it's alpha, Gooner brainwashing straight guys into HRT on 4chan and Discord for Gooner points or something. These men just are in denial about their sexuality. That's it. And yeah, you should get a divorce. Because there's no getting around that. That's like a non-starter. Right? It's a non-starter where you shouldn't have gotten in a marriage 16 years ago, but now you're here, so you got to just do it. Right? But yeah, this is like a complete nonsense sentence. You know, the husband and brother-in-law could have suggested a foursome. Oh my god, dude. I love how this starts with Diesel going on about therapy. Well, they definitely need therapy, right? Because it's like, there is such a thing as an amicable divorce, but I think when you spend time in a relationship and somebody does something like this, you want to do like the all or nothing approach where you want to destroy them because you're mad and you're upset. But like when you have kids, the entire situation changes, right? So it's like, okay, like this guy is clearly doing something that's wrong and stupid, and he shouldn't have done this, right? But it's like you need to reach some amicable ending. Because the way I could see this going in like a divorce, right, is like, okay, let's say the husband's fucking gay. They get a divorce, but the wife argues that the husband is fucking insane. And now it's only the wife that has custody, right? And it's like, is that appropriate, right? Like, obviously, we don't know the ins and outs of the marriage, right? But, you know, these are things that should be figured out. So that way, even though the father's gay, I'm going off the theory that he's just gay, right? Yeah, the worse they drag it out in a divorce, the worse the family will be. But it's like, you know, you need to be able to separate amicably if you have kids, because the alternative is this really long, drawn out emotional process. And at 15 and 10, that is definitely an age that is going to fuck them up. It's going to fuck them up real bad. Okay, but he openly wanted to cheat on his wife. I wouldn't be very charitable with him. I'm saying a divorce needs to happen. It's going to happen either way, right? But it's like, oh, he wanted to cheat on his wife. He can never see his kids. That's insane. That's wild. But also, I guarantee you, they're like, damn, honey, your husband's a little fruity. And they were saying that 16 years ago. And nobody asked any questions then. I have never read this before. Is this ongoing still? I think the case of custody is less about cheating and more about him being into some weird kind of brainwashing. There are lots of people who have a hypno fetish. Got really bad news for you. Go through her profile and check her comments. Do they have their comments on here? Dude, why are they getting all their fucking things removed, dude? What the fuck? I had an ex who was into hypno, 0 out of 10. They locked the post down. That's cringe. How dare they? The sissy, big sissy is targeting her chat. To stop YouTube channels from sharing it. Well, that's like the entire point of Reddit is for somebody else to just read it and go, "That's funny." Like, who are you kidding me? Oh, these Reddit posts are really valuable. Let me add an Omegaverse stream to the list. As a vanilla enjoyer, I have no idea what hypno is. I imagine it's like hypnosis. Yeah, that's what it is. It's hypnosis. Somebody said it comes from like sexual shame, and I could see that. Right? I could definitely see that coming, like a developed fetish from, like, you know, an upbringing where you're not allowed to express it or anything like that. Unfortunately, I have hit the goal for an Omegaverse stream. I honestly didn't think we were gonna hit that. But you know, I just didn't think it would happen. So the wall fetish. Oh yeah, I also have to add the wall. I was told that I should watch The Wall by Pink Floyd. Whenever. I'm starting work this week, so I'm gonna be pretty fucking busy, but you know. Maybe next time set the goal higher. Listen, it
Maybe
was like
next
5
time
teal
set the
super
goal
chats,
height.
all right? That's a lot of money. Okay? I mean 10. 6 years of diesel, Jesus. Hypnosis as a fetish doesn't come from shame. It's part of the mind-altering kink realm. It falls into the same... I'm sorry, you're actually gonna kill me with that. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. But whatever it is, get that fucking Gnostic, fucking Hermetic Freemason bullshit out of here before you get the Illuminati to shut down this stream. All right, fucking, you're gonna get the Grand Wizard to come out here and correct all of us. Oh shit.
And die. What do you want me to do? Argue with you? I'm not on the debate team. This isn't mock trial.
And I'll do it again if IT means sharing my hyperfixation and academic research. Wolfnut stream, let's go baby ye.
You know, we just keep saying things that make me confused, honestly. But I need to cut today's stream short. I have D&D and I am packed at a DM patron, so I'll be in a lot of trouble if I don't leave. So I'm gonna get out of here now, and I'm gonna get over there and do that, so that way I don't get in trouble.